Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today, a Tuesday, and it is Human Rights Day in South Africa, a public holiday for many people, for all of us. Some of us are working today, myself included, and I have taken time off from a very happy writing task to come to the tarot table to do some readings for you, and it's always happy for me here at the tarot table. I have to say, I have the Lunar Soul Tarot on the tarot table today for this reading, and it's just an energy check-in that I'm doing on King Charles. I did a reading on the Harkles and the balcony appearance and all of that yesterday, and the devil showed up as the underlying energy, and we all know who the devil is in these readings and what the devil signifies in these readings at an energy level. Let's stress it's archetypal energy. It's nothing personal. I'm just reading energy here, archetypes. So I want to look and see how he's handling the situation. How does he really feel? As we approach the coronation, and day after day, headline after headline is about the Harkles, whether they're putting puff pieces out or courtiers are responding, or what is going on. This PR game is going on and on and on. We're going to ask the Lunar Soul Tarot to tell us how he's doing, what he really feels, what he really wants in terms of Harry and Meghan showing up at the coronation, and how ultimately it's going to reflect on him, his handling of the situation. That's going to be our final question, and I think we're ready to go. It's telling me I need to do one of these as well. Sorry about this. We just listen. Whatever my intuition tells me, I do. And just remind you, it's just tarot, it's fun, it's entertainment, it's opinion, it's speculation, it's archetypal energy. And there is, of course, a disclaimer in the box below. I'm going to do a Celtic cross. It's repurposed Celtic cross, as very often is in these royal readings. And we're going to see what Charles is up to. Is he going to allow the Harkles to appear or not? Basically, what is going on? As far as the cards can tell us, this is the beauty of tarot. They look at the energy of people and they tell you what's really going on. If the cards are really talking, tells you what's going on in their heart. And we've got one of the special cards in this tarot deck, duality. It's an extra one that the creator of the tarot deck has put in, that they feel is important. It's an important energy that they want to include in the tarot deck, duality. And it's about the yin and the yang, basically. Two sides of the same coin. And it says, I'm just looking at the little book here, it says, observe duality and know the interrelation between the two sides of the coin that you are dealing with. I'm paraphrasing. Perspective defines all. How do we judge by our own absolute standard when a truth for one may not be so for another? Our inner worlds, perceptions, experiences are each as unique as our fate. What is fair to one may be an injustice to others. An intransigent binary really crossed. So that's interesting, and that card has come out in the reverse. So we've got perspective that isn't necessarily being evenly applied across all levels, shall we say. That it wants to tell us that. It wants to remind us that perhaps we need to be more even in our perspective and in our judgment. I'm going to take that personally as a reminder to me not to be so judgmental. So a little slap on the shoulder for me. A timely reminder perhaps. So let's crack on with the actual Celtic cross and the heart of the issue that is facing Charles. And we got the Page of Wands. And that's an interesting card because it's a child card. It's many things, the Page of Wands, but it is first and foremost for me children. And children are being used as a bargaining chip in this duality that is upside down now. where people are dominating that shouldn't dominate, and our perspectives are all wrong. Page of Wands, child. And of course Archie's birthday, so that's the first thing that comes to my mind. The second thing, of course, is the Page of Wands is PR, and there is a huge PR battle being waged at the moment, and he wants to be on top of the news. He wants good news. He doesn't want negativity. He wants positive news. Pages are about communication. Page of Wands is very much about PR, good news being sent out. So that's what he really wants, and of course access to those grandchildren. I've read on it and read on it and read on it. The energy, it comes and goes like a tide, and we're at new moon today. So interesting. See what that new moon delivers. What is bothering him? What is crossing him? And what's crossing him is the Six of Swords, the overseas people. Literally, the Six of Swords is the card of overseas. Harry and Meghan wishes them well overseas in their lives overseas. Didn't he say that? His very first speech when he addressed the nation, when the Queen had passed, the late Queen. There they are. But the one, and notice the skin tone there, that lady is coming back over the swords. That is the problem. That is the problem. And I don't mean to be harshly judging her for the skin tone or anything like that. We're not going there. That's not what this is about. It's just identifying the person in the card and that person's energy. A troublemaker from overseas is coming, is the energy of the card, the archetypal energy of the card. What's going on behind the scenes? Are there negotiations going on behind the scenes? Wow. He's feeling really bruised and battered, King Charles, with that Nine of Wands. He feels that he has got to protect himself, draw up the drawbridge, and protect himself because he's battered and bruised. This has been extremely painful for him. All the slings and arrows that have come his way, that card's showing up quite a bit at the moment. Spare, the accusations in that book, all the interviews, all the hateful things, all the nasty things that have happened, even things like lady, is it Susan Hussey? I've forgotten her name now, and the whole racist thing, the royals are racists, that nonsense that happened again. All of these things have left him feeling really wounded. That is the wounded warrior, and he's wanting to retreat, he's wanting to protect himself, he's wanting to put barriers around himself, boundaries around himself. That doesn't tell me communication, that tells me withdrawing from communication, letting other people do it, going through intermediaries, not negotiators, not that kind of thing, going through lawyers, as we've heard quite frequently that they are using lawyers to communicate. This is not dad's on the phone talking to his son in America, not while she's around. The problem. The very literal cards in this reading, I have to say, and that is how he's feeling. You have to feel sorry for him that he's feeling like that. He is a very sensitive soul by all accounts, and not necessarily handling this very well from the perspective. And we've been told to bear in mind that we might be not looking at things from the right perspective, from the perspective of people who might be tougher, have thicker skins, find it easier to just say no. The late Queen eventually did. No, only working royals on that balcony, no one else. But for him, it's painful. So, what's his focus? What does he want right now? There you go, Four of Wands. He wants them there. He wants everyone happy, that happy family. He wants the royal family united, looking stable. The home, looking like the foundation, the firm is literally on a firm foundation. So that's a pretty obvious card again. As I say, we've got some very literal cards here. Four of Wands. He wants to celebrate as well, because that is the Four of Wands. It is about celebrating and having a good time, but having a good time because you're united, you're all pulling together, and you're demonstrating to the world that you have a happy home. And I said that in the reading yesterday, a very strong energy that came for me, that he wants the world to see, here I am, a proud father with my 2 sons and their families. But we were talking about the devil in the detail. That is literally the devil in the detail at an energetic, archetypal level, not a personal level. We're talking about archetypes here. So, the recent past, how's that gone in terms of his feelings about the Parkles and the coronation? We've had eviction from Frogmore Cottage the minute that spare came out. There have been some quite harsh judgment calls made. Tell me about the past and Charles. We've got a hanged man who's in reverse, the hanged one, as these more modern tarot decks do like to say. It's not a man, it's a one. The hanged one, but the hanged one in reverse. Somebody has decided, and that would be Charles, because it's a very Neptunian energy, very water signy energy. Charles has decided not to just to martyr himself anymore, not to be a victim. Here is a victim. Here is somebody who's bruised and battered. And but in the recent past, he's decided to take a much firmer stance with the Parkles and to say, no, you can't carry on living at Frogmore Cottage and whatever else he has done. And he has done some things to knock them back, even though he did ultimately give in to the prince and princess drama. That hand was kind of forced. It's not something he really wanted to do, and he might take steps to undo it. That's the energy that I've got in the readings that I have done. But that is liberating himself from being stuck, from being in limbo, from being helpless and a victim and having to sacrifice himself and taking a stand, making a stand, acting for himself. Very interesting card, that. What's coming next? And particularly I want to know, in this Celtic cross, are the Parkles going to be invited to the coronation? We got 7 of Wands. I thought it was the 8 of Wands when I first saw that card. I thought, oh, well, yeah, there's the invitation. Off it goes. But the 7 of Wands is a very different energy. It's the protect yourself energy. It's very similar to this, to the 9 of Wands. It's defending yourself against attack. So if they are invited, there are going to be rules. There are going to be pushing back against the attacks that have come. He's already here in the behind the scenes dealing with them. He has built that wall for himself, that protective fence around himself. Here it is, I'm pushing back against you. I am not going to take nonsense from you. I am not going to be shaken by you. I am on the high ground here. I am the one who is in the powerful position. You can try and knock me, you can send those things, but I'm pushing back at you. So I think that they are devising a plan that is going to make it quite difficult for the Parkles to accept it, because their behavior is going to be monitored. And it's all about defending the royal family. It's all about protecting the king. It could be about also protecting other members of the royal family there, because it's a female energy in this card, unusually. So that's interesting. Personally, now for each of the Parkles, how does he feel about Harry attending? And we got the Page of Discs. He absolutely wants Harry there. It's his child. And I think more than Harry, I think he wants Archie there as well. With a Page of Discs is Earth Sign Boy. Archie's birthday on the 6th of May, little Taurian. Although many people would say, actually, he's a Page of Wands. Because there is a lot of disagreement. There's a lot of speculation about his actual birth date. So he's appeared both times. I was going to mention him in that card and I thought no, but he's showing up now properly as the Page of Discs here, the Page of Pentacles. So we're going to take it and we're going to acknowledge that yes, Charles does want Harry there. He wants him there as he was as a child, as he was younger. He wants the young Harry there. He doesn't want this Harry who's with her, Harry, with that tricky energy in the 6 of Swords. He wants his darling boy back. Darling boy. Juvenile energy. Darling boy and darling boy's son, his grandson. And darling boy in a subservient position. So he's not going to be doing important things. He's just there. He's not going to be treated like one of the main players in this event. Not with that Seven of Wands there either. What about Megan? How does he feel about having Megan there? And we've got Justice. That's interesting. The Justice card. He feels that it would be the right thing to do. Very bizarre. Give her what she wants. It's fair. It's the right thing to do. Okay, so I can't read this card any other way, much as I would love to see this card, some other card there. But I have to read the cards as they come out. And this card has come out, and so from Charles's point of view, and we're trying to read anyway his energy and see how he's feeling. He feels that it would be only right and proper and fair for her to be there as well. A secondary meaning of justice is legal proceedings and divorce. Just have to say that. But that's like a 5% energy. 95% yes. The major arcana, he can't not invite her, obviously. But it's got to look like there is equality. Justice is about equality. It would be you're racist if she's not there. We got that because he has trouble. That this card is screaming at me. I can't tell you how it's screaming at me. I don't want it to get me into trouble. And so I have to stress again that it is just archetypal energy, not the actual person. So it's the energy that is being expressed. So hopes and fears for King Charles. This tricky situation for him. Hopes and fears, and we've got the Hermit in reverse. That's Harry. Harry in reverse. Harry, well, the Hermit is going away by yourself and having a big think and finding enlightenment, inner wisdom. In the reverse, one of the meanings of the Hermit that I very seldom read because it's always Harry in reverse is coming back. So he's hoping, I would say, that he's hoping that Harry comes on his own. The Hermit appears on his own, back from the wilderness, seen the light, and he's come back. That's what Charles is hoping. I think it would explain the reading I did yesterday on the balcony scene, and also William's attitude in that reading, which I found quite disturbing, and is one of the reasons, or just strange, not disturbing, just curious, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this reading today. Might do one on William, a similar one on William in the next few days. But I think the primary meaning of that Hermit card in reverse is that he's hoping that Hermit, meaning Harry, comes on his own. She has to be invited. It has to look egalitarian. It has to look fair. But that would be the best outcome for the king personally. The son comes, there he is, the younger son, the Page of Discs comes. It's all happy families. They can all line up on the balcony and look like all the trouble is over and they've all made their peace and on they go, happily ever after. How is it going to go for Charles in terms of how handling this? The consequences for him personally, whether they are there or not. I don't care whether they're there or not for the purposes of this card. It is simply, I want to know, is it going to reflect well on him? The end of all of this, is it going to reflect poorly on King Charles? His handling of the Harkles, the Parkles. And it's got so dark suddenly, I can hardly see this. It's the Four of Cups, but the Four of Cups that has come out in reverse. And so there's going to be regret around this, ultimately. It's not going to go well for him personally. It's not a desperate and unhappy card. It's not the Five of Cups. But the Four of Cups is upright. It's someone offering you something, an apology, a gift, love, some reconciliation or something like that, and you say no, thank you, I don't want it. It doesn't excite me, it doesn't stimulate me. And that could be Harry and Meghan eventually turning him down and saying no, we don't want those rules that you're going to put in place there, it doesn't suit us, so we're not going to come. It looks to me like there is some rejection of offer, something that doesn't go his way, and that ultimately he's going to be regretful about. he's going to look back at it, or we might all look back at it, but I think more for him because it feels like a very personal card. It doesn't feel like the rest of us looking at him and judging him from our perspective. It feels to me that that is his own feelings at the end of this. It's not going to be, it's not going to go the way that he wished. That offer may well be rejected, that sort of rapprochement. And in the end, he's going to feel regretful. He's going to think, how could I have done things differently? How could I have fixed this situation? But good luck to anyone trying to fix that situation, because it is a very tricky situation. And the devil, as I have called it in the heading of this reading, the title of this reading, the devil in the details. So it's unhappy. He's trying to do the right thing, but he does want Harry there, and he does think that Meghan being there would be the fair thing to do, the just and equal thing to do. But he really wants Harry there on his own, maybe with Archie. A very strong feeling that he wants Harry and Archie there, and Meghan and Lilibet stay home. So that is your reading. Thank you for bearing with me as it's gotten darker and darker as I did this reading. But anyway, that's it, and I'll see you again tomorrow.